Right now, the United States Navy is enforcing a high-stakes blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. While warships face off in the Middle East, a more disruptive struggle is unfolding inside this building, one that just cost the Navy's top civilian boss his job. Before we get into the $17 billion battleship dispute driving this civil war, make sure to subscribe to the channel. This is John Phelan. Before taking over as Navy Secretary, he was a billionaire investment fund manager and a major political donor. His dismissal had nothing to do with the blockade. Instead, he found himself on the losing side of a bitter argument over how to design the Navy of the future. This sudden dismissal exposes a deep crisis in how the United States projects global power and procures its military hardware. To understand the panic, you have to look at China. Over the last decade, Beijing has built out a massive deep-water fleet with a shipbuilding capacity the U.S. currently cannot match. This chart shows what the Navy is up against. The U.S. fleet sits between 290 and 465 ships. China's hull count is estimated anywhere from 350 to over 840. And while China's naval power is concentrated, the American fleet is stretched across the globe, simultaneously covering the Pacific and enforcing blockades in the Middle East. Satellite tracking confirms that Beijing is maintaining heavy numbers across the high seas right now. Relying on traditional American tactics to counter an adversary that can launch vessels this quickly is mathematically impossible. The U.S. simply needs more hulls in the water. Phelan's solution to this problem was a massive project he called the Golden Fleet, centered on a brand-new Trump-class mega-battleship. These guided missile battleships were designed to weigh over 35,000 tons. Each would carry an estimated $17 billion price tag and a payload of hypersonic missiles and directed energy weapons. Instead of using normal military channels, Phelan bypassed the Pentagon's chain of command entirely to pitch this megaship directly to the president at Mar-a-Lago. That move fractured his relationship with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Deputy Secretary Steve Feinberg, both of whom strongly opposed Phelan's vision. To Pentagon leadership, pouring $17 billion into a single massive target doesn't solve the problem of being outnumbered. It just gives the enemy a highly valuable, concentrated asset to destroy. Hegseth wants to pivot away from manned megaships toward a swarm of mass-produced, uncrewed vessels. By focusing on cheap, expendable drones, the Navy can rapidly manufacture hardware at a pace that actually matches China's raw output. To ensure this vision moved forward, Hegseth systematically dismantled Phelan's authority, stripping away his acquisition powers, firing his chief of staff, and eventually ousting him entirely. Phelan's firing was more than a personnel change. It was a deliberate execution of power to force a permanent pivot in U.S. military strategy. Taking Phelan's place is acting Navy Secretary Hung Cao. He's a combat veteran and former explosive ordnance disposal officer who is fully aligned with the drone swarm vision. Phelan is only the latest casualty. Over the last year, Hegseth has dismissed more than 30 top military officers. That list includes the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and the Army Chief of Staff, General Randy George. This is a deliberate overhaul spanning every branch of the armed forces. This aggressive reorganization is designed to mandate strict tactical loyalty to the Pentagon's new automated warfare doctrine. Phelan's dismissal and the death of the Golden Fleet project mark a definitive pivot away from the strategy of building the fleet around massive, multi-billion-dollar capital ships. The question now is whether forcing this radical transition to decentralized drone warfare will keep vital choke points open, or if this level of instability at the top will simply break the U.S. Navy.